try that. Hello, happy campers. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
Show. By the way, I'm going to put on my mask here so I don't catch the coof from you goofs. Fearless leader Joe Biden. Did you see he went on a Zoom call with a bunch of world leaders? He was the only idiot wearing a face mask. You voted him for him, guys, not me. So, hey, at least no mean tweets.
I just hope we don't get another wave. Because Japan's already in state 3 of emergency. And apparently, what was it? India is like in bad shape. Like 33,000 or something like that.
Good. You know what that means? Growbot. Yeah. You know, hold on. The only politics I'm going to inject in here for now. You want to know what the real emergency is? The real emergency is you got a bunch of frickin' politicians who think that by ordering people around, then somehow this makes this better. Idiots, if you had done the 2 weeks to blunt the curve, just like you said you were going to do a year and a half ago, we would have gone through this and it would have been a memory by now. But no, you had to sit here and you had to drag it out because you forgot that your old Uncle Spike used to be a microbiologist when he was in the Army. So he knows how viruses work, which, speaking of which, 14 months ago I explained to you what this all was and that this is like a really virulent strain of the flu. Yeah. I think I was one of the first ones who made the call, as a matter of fact, on YouTube. That was back before they started censoring people for saying the coof. So, anyway. And another thing, it's Oscar season. We got an Oscar. So
tonight, actually. Well, Sunday night. Sunday night is Oscars.
So anyway, it's Oscar night, and
I have no idea why.
Again, this is the only Oscar I actually care about. Piece of little trivia I picked up over I don't know if you knew about this. You know what Oscar's real color is? This Oscar the Grouch.
Used to be blue, right?
Used to be orange. In his first season, as a matter of fact, my beloved daughter Beth went down to a comic convention in Florida, I think, and got a couple of the old school OG Sesame Street cast members to sign a publicity photo of the first season of Sesame Street, and it shows an orange Oscar the Grouch. Thing is, the story went, Oscar fell in, between season 1 and season 2, Oscar fell into a swamp, and rather than take a shower, he just left it. So he went from orange to green. So if he ever takes a shower or gets rained on or anything, he'll turn orange again.
Wow.
So, you learn something new every day. Anywho.
I mean, I guess that's a good story, even though I think it would have been nicer if he just had like a runny nose or something and he just like wiped it on him. Never mind.
Although Oscar would totally do something like that.
Yeah, probably.
If he had a nose. He has no nose. That's why he lives in a garbage can. He can't smell any of it. Although, actually, I think he can smell it. He enjoys the smell of it. Because he's a Grinch. He's not even a Grinch. He's a Grouch. He's like a close cousin. Anyway. So anyway, you were saying it's a pretty skimpy week on...
Yeah, it's not really nothing to really like brag about, but yes.
Well, let's talk about it then. What you got?
Alright, so boycotting Space Jam 2.
Why?
So apparently...
Is LeBron in Space Jam 2?
Yes.
Okay, that's why they're boycotting.
LeBron James is being boycotted. Well,
LeBron James is a freaking idiot and has just proven it to the entire planet. Go ahead.
Pretty much.
So much for all the politics. Go ahead.
He tweeted this thing where it showed where it was like a cop that killed a 16-year-old girl somewhere. I don't know.
Columbus, Ohio. There was a
movies.
16-year-old girl brandishing a knife. She was threatening the life of another 16-year-old black girl. White cop shows up, tries to tell her to put the knife down. She doesn't listen. She keeps going after the girl, so she gets shot dead. But you wouldn't know that from reading the New York Times or the LA Times or most of these other dimwits who are interested, all they're interested in is perpetuating this hatred of cops in the black community. Like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So he tweeted a picture of the cop and says, "You're next." He did that after a while. He came out saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that because it adds more hate, and that's what we're trying not to do," you know, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that's
he's afraid he's going to lose money from endorsement deals, which actually he hasn't. So, y'all keep an eye out who's sponsoring the NBA and what commercials LeBron shows up in. And remember, those are the people who also agree that white cops should die, basically. So, I've already had to stop buying 7th generation dish soap, which is dish soap we've been using for like the last 2 or 3 years, because it doesn't have any dyes or perfumes or anything in it, so our sensitive systems don't bother with it so much. But they just came out this past week and tweeted, "Defund the police." So if y'all, no more 7th generation anything. And I was about to switch over to you guys for our freaking laundry detergent too, because I like the concept of having cardboard bottles that can be easily recycled, but 7th generation too. So y'all take your sides, I'll take mine.
Just to throw this out there, but you do remember a movie called The Purge, right? If you get rid of the police, it's going to be The Purge every day. You know that, right? Which means you'll have to look over your shoulder every time you and your family leaves the house.
Chris, you got to understand, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't actually. They don't. Well, no, they don't think. They don't actually hate the police. They want to defund the police, but only in black neighborhoods. Okay, I'm saying the quiet part out loud. If you wanted black people to kill each other, you're either LeBron James or who else would like to see black people killing each other? It was a wide group. Known for a long time, back in the early 20th century, right up till Superman. Yeah. Way to go, LeBron James. You're now a Klansman. Way to go, pal. Called you out. And I'm pasty white. Look at this farmer's tan. I'm pasty as all get out, and I'm more black than you, LeBron James. I am street, yo.
Woo. Street, yo. Okay.
I'll wear my mask backwards, Tish, so I can get some more street cred. There we go. See? How has that not become a thing, by the way? Everybody else wears their hats backwards like that. That's all street, right? Yeah, he got a haircut.
I know.
He is decidedly less fuzzy than he has been here.
I did it myself. There's bald spots everywhere, man.
Pow! There we go. So anyway. Probably dusty as all we never vacuum in here. Anyway.
So, okay. So, this is not much of a story.
No, it's not.
But I wish you could, put a picture, add a picture on video here.
He's trying to tell me how to produce this.
No, I'm not trying to. It's just, it's really adorable. Baby Yoda shoes. Baby Yoda shoes. Okay. From The Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
I've seen the shoes. And they're really cute. I mean, not a grown-ass man like myself would actually wear something like that. Kids, yes. They would wear these Yoda shoes, but a grown person, no. But they're so cute.
There's a reason you don't see his feet, you know. I honestly think I'm going to make a prediction right now, and I don't know. Sometimes I make these predictions and they go off into the ditch, but usually I make a prediction I can call it. Baby Stay Puffed is this year's Baby Yoda. Because this one over here had a chance to try Ghostbusters Afterlife cereal. I almost called it Afterbirth, for God's sake.
I was like,
Anyway, Ghostbusters Afterlife cereal. You know you got a good movie coming when the cereal comes out about 2 or 3 months before the movie hits theaters. Although they used a little little red balls instead of the little red circles with the line through it. But your review of it, I wound up buying. I found 2 boxes of this. I kid you not, in Flemingsburg, Kentucky, at the Ken's New Market up there this past week. This past Tuesday up there. Don't ask what I was doing up there. I can't discuss it. But anyway, they had 4 cases, 4 big boxes, and each box holds about 14, I think 14 or 16 boxes of cereal. Okay, and they just had a stack for a display. I came out this past Tuesday, picked up 2. They were like 2 for $5. So hey, I'll grab a couple, 1 for me, 1 for him. Didn't realize he wanted 1 to keep, so I just gave him both of them. So
You want to want?
no, I don't. That one. That's what I wanted to see what it tasted like before I worried about whether I was going to eat it or not. But
If you added milk, which I did not, because I don't like milk. I mean, I
you have to try them both ways. There are cereals. We'll talk about this in a second. Go ahead.
I like. I mean, milk and cereal, yes, goes good together and stuff like that. But it does, milk for some reason does this thing to my ears and the back of my throat. I don't know. But I didn't care. It seemed like the type of cereal that I could eat without it, you know.
Yeah,
so
it's strawberry frosted sugar bombs, basically.
Basically, that's exactly what it is.
Anyway, getting back to my story. I'm up here, so there's about 16, I think, boxes to a case here. I mean, we're not talking huge. So there's like 64 boxes altogether in this one display. By the time I got there and got my 2 boxes, there may have been 1 open box at the bottom and maybe 4 other little boxes of cereal left. I wiped out the top row. So there was not many left. So remember, Flemingsburg is a town of about 2,500 people, if I remember correctly, and this is about the only supermarket they got. And by golly, that thing went quick. In a place like that, it either goes really fast or it don't go. This one went fast, I do believe. So.
I didn't know it was going to do that. I saw this, somebody posted it on the social media, but it was a Canadian commercial. And it showed it, and I'm just like, what? Ghostbuster cereal? What? Now, this, I didn't care. Like, I mean, I'll watch the new movie when it comes out and all that stuff. But when I was a kid, I had pretty much a lot of Ghostbuster stuff. Glow-in-the-dark toothpaste. Okay? It was Slimer toothpaste that glowed in the dark. Okay? I mean, I had a bunch of stuff. So this actually, seeing the commercial literally brought the little kid in me out, just going like, oh, what? So I messaged him. I was like, look, I don't know if it's anywhere in the United States, but there is some Ghostbuster cereal. If you end up running into it, because he works in retail.
I do the retail thing, yes.
I was like, if you run into that, please get me. And he did. So, yeah.
I tasted it back. I already bought 2. I just bought it to it. Here's a pro tip from a guy who's been in retail for a couple of decades now. If you want to find all the cool stuff, that's coming out, always look for the little independent supermarkets. Wherever you go, look for the small ones and go into dollar stores. They typically get this stuff. The independent grocers will get it first. And the gas stations, they always get the weird cool candies and sodas and stuff like that. Beef jerkies, anything weird and eccentric, like a new energy drink, will always go to the gas stations first. If you're looking for anything else supermarket related, go to the independent markets first. Or super value, things like that. And then it'll start turning up in like regular supermarkets and the hypermarkets and all this other stuff. So if you want to find the cool stuff, always seek out like Ken's New Market or like some of the taquerias around here, whatever it's called, like the Mexican supermercados, I think, are what they're called. Or
I love these words.
Some of the little bodegas, the gas stations, and I'm not talking about chain gas stations like Speedway, which is like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven gets some cool stuff, but it doesn't always make it out to out here in the hinterlands. In the mom and pop shops. So, just a quick pro tip.
Maybe else.
And was there anything else? What else you got on your news? You're almost out of cards anyway, you said.
No, I still got one card left. I got this.
You got
on
one
the
card
back.
left.
Hold on.
One bullet left.
Wait.
And he's lost. But anyway.
Oh, okay. That was on this one. Okay. Woo.
So what you got?
Okay.
Talk.
Apparently, we are having a Captain America 4 movie being made
Mm-hmm.
with the co-writer of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No, not exactly for sure how this is going to play. Nobody knows the storyline. If this is going to have Chris Evans return.
No.
Chris Evans said that he wasn't.
Chris Evans wants. I think Chris Evans would do it for a lot more money, but I don't. So I think Marvel's going to have to come back and beg him at some point. But
So
for now, it's whatever his name is. Plays Sam Wilson.
I
can't
mean,
think.
I don't know.
Spoilers, by the way.
Which the suit actually looks damn good.
Yeah, it does. I was surprised. Looks better than it does on Captain Up. I'm sorry, he'll be Captain Up forever. He'll be UP agent next. I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway.
wow. But yeah, it was. So yeah, that's happening. No word yet on who's going to be in it. What's the story's going to be about? Again, they don't know if Chris Evans is going to be in it. I don't think so because, again, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. pretty much made it clear that
They want nothing more to
they're
do with this
done.
anymore.
They're done.
They've
They
done
have
their time.
retired from it.
They have done their time.
Exactly. So it's like, but you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what did you think about the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Oh.
I just saw the spoiler for it. I saw the spoiler for it. I saw Sam in the costume. That's it.
So let me tell you this, okay? I'm not going to give nothing
I
away.
honestly
I'm
don't
not-
care. I didn't watch episode, what is it, 5 and 6 for
I'm
the
not
last
going to give it
two?
away. The only reason it took me a day and a half to actually watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because people were already releasing like clips from it, but it was clips of like, okay, look, again, I know it's important to address racial and stuff like that. But when it's done so many times, it drives you crazy. And so the clips I was seeing was of stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that really hesitates me of watching it because I don't feel like being preached at again. And I know there's going to be people out there be like, well, if you don't care about it, then you're the part of the problem or some bullshit like, yeah, whatever. You know, I don't care. I don't see color at all. But I know the issues, but it's just, you know, when you put it in every show that I watch, I know this stuff exists. I do. Everybody knows this, but it's there. But anyways, scratch all that. I watched it, and honestly, it was pretty good. It was really good. It was good. It was good. I wouldn't say that it was like, what episode was it? The second episode that we really liked?
Yeah, I think so.
Second episode? It wasn't like that good, but it was good to where you're like, nice. There is a speech that he does make to the rich white dude. There is a speech that he makes, and oh my goodness, it was a really good speech. It was a really good speech. Because at the end he said something like, you all have the power of something God's, but also a mind of a naive child. Or
Mhm.
something like that. And I'm just like, oh yes. It was so good. It's just, that speech was really good. But, yeah.
Who gave that speech? Was that
It
Sam?
was, Sam.
Hmm.
It was really good.
Oh, my last statement on this. I'm not going to say that this was poor storytelling throughout, but just to give my critique on this, it is a bad storytelling habit to preach. Okay? That's what this show is guilty of. They preach. They keep going over. if you had done one instance, for example, the Baltimore one sticks out where Sam and Bucky come out of the old guy's house. The cops pull up because they hear there's an argument going on, and they go straight to Sam. Do that, knock it off.
Yeah, but that's something else. Who called the cops? Our neighborhood was.
Yes, that's another thing too. That's how you
Who
know
called
it's.
the cops?
That needs to be a T-shirt. That's how you know it's fiction. Black guys called the cops. Anyway,
That's what I was wondering when I watched that episode. I was just like, who would call the cops?
and I was trying to recognize where they were filming, and it wasn't in Baltimore because I didn't recognize it. But I know Baltimore, and this is like 25 years out of date because this is back around 93, 94, when I had to run through the slums of Baltimore. I've had a long life, Chris. But it's carrying a van full of donuts, by the way. Yes, that was that guy. Anyway,
wow.
I really need to sit down and just tell stories sometime.
Wow.
But maybe this year, if we actually get the storytelling festival off, I'll sit down and tell stories.
Oh my goodness.
Some life stories and stuff. But anyway, from me to the other creators out there, don't get into these bad habits. Preaching's a bad habit. Going on and on about a topic is a bad habit, like we should know. I know especially, I can do that. But kill all your darlings, as Mark Twain used to say. If you look at something and you do a Ralphie, where you're sitting there and you're scrawling this out and like, oh yeah, that's really good, from A Christmas Story, Ralphie, when he's trying to write the
and
little,
they get disappointed when he
the little
hears
report, the little report he was doing for school.
Code, something code, yeah.
No, he's writing out his
his
theme about what he wants for Christmas,
Oh, okay.
and he's talking about why he wants the BB rifle. And he's like, and he stops and he's reading like, oh yeah, that's good. If you're doing that, you need to tear whatever you're writing up and start over on that page because you are letting your darlings run loose. And then he got a D plus, C minus,
Yeah.
something like that.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
That's what awaits storytellers who don't kill their darlings. You'll shoot your eye. Yeah. What else you got?
Okay, you're gonna love this one.
Oh, am I? Well, I love it.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Well,
you're gonna you're seriously gonna love this.
am I going to love this so much that I want to marry it and settle down with it and have its
Probably.
babies? Have little baby statements with this thing?
So, James Gunn, the creator of, the director and writer of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, all that, is doing a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. After he tweeted this out, Mark Hamill tweeted back at him. And literally he said, I have a bad feeling about this.
Which is exactly what Mark Hamill would say. But you got I've got a bad feeling about this. He needs to do it in that Joker voice to really get the message across. But
oh, that's all right. That's pretty
see,
funny.
now, if you really want to score some bonus points, the Guardians of the Galaxy Hanukkah special.
Oh.
Always get that extra dig in there. And it's like 9 hours long. It's the same episode, but you have to watch it 9 hours, 9 days in a row.
No.
Yeah, now we're back to A Christmas Story. Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just thought that was hilarious. I mean, I bet you he could make a better holiday special than.
I bet Mark Hamill could make a better Christmas special than. I would love to see Mark Hamill do A Christmas Story. That would be hilarious.
It would be. For all of you people who love Hocus Pocus, well, get ready because
all three of you?
They finally.
I'm sorry, 4. Go ahead.
Hocus Pocus will start shooting sometime either this summer or fall. After finding a director which apparently they had a director and something happened, but they found a new director, so it is on its way.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, good. We just ate lunch, so I need an afternoon nap. Thank you for the Hocus Pocus story. I'm just going to sleep through this next one.
See what I got to work with?
My heat-teats all flopping out and stuff.
Gloria Estefan and Andy Garcia, which are two names that I thought I would never hear again
It's
at
like
all.
peanut butter and gherkins. Go ahead.
Until they like pass away or something. But
Two weird tastes that don't taste.
they are remaking Father of the Bride.
Why?
I have no idea. I didn't know that the movie was that big.
Silly me. Out of ideas. That's right.
Yes.
Creatively bankrupt. That's right.
The only thing I know about the original Father of the Bride is that it had Martin Short and Steve Martin. And that, like, I think Diane Lane or no.
Who cares?
Diane Keaton.
Who cares? It had Steve
Something.
Martin and Martin Short in it. That was the important part.
So, yeah, that's happening.
It wasn't called Mother of the Bride. Or a Mother of a Bride.
Mother of the Bride.
I'm still waiting for I'm still waiting for Queen Kong versus Bridezilla. That would be worth watching.
Anyways.
Mortal Kombat is out this weekend. We are recording this on Sunday, April 26th, 2021, and Mortal Kombat came out this weekend, and I don't freaking care. I really don't. I have zero interest in this movie. And now understand, I've been begging Hollywood to start releasing movies again for a year. I've been waiting for the theaters to reopen. I've been looking for excuses to go out. And they keep releasing Mortal Kombat. Why? Why would you do that?
Well, funny that you say that, because due to Mortal Kombat is actually running up against another movie that I just now heard about, like yesterday or Friday.
We have our ears on the street.
But it's an anime based off of an anime.
Demon Hunter?
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Demon Hunter. One or the
And
other.
it's a Demon Slayer movie, and it's running up against Mortal Kombat. And these two movies are actually going to battle box office because, like, there's tons of theaters that is rushing to get these two movies, basically. And I'm like, holy heck. I have never watched Demon Slayer. I've heard a lot of people say it's really good. Never actually seen it. I know that there's a half man, half pig in it. That's all I really know about it.
If I wanted to see a half man, half pig, I'd go watch another presidential news conference. But go ahead. I would put my little mask back on, but I just shot it at the camera about 15 minutes ago.
Oh.
Anyway.
Sony makes another deal with their Spider-Man stuff. Apparently, it wasn't like you said this, that they made a deal with Netflix to show Spider-Man and all that stuff. Well, now Disney Plus is able to show Spider-Man.
Second. So it's almost like Sony gets to put the Spider-Man movies in the theaters first, and then it'll turn up on Netflix, and then it'll turn up like on ABC Saturday Night Movie at the same time it shows up on Disney Plus. So, which is very, very possible because Disney owns ABC too. See how that worked? So clever. God, I'm so clever. I just disgust myself. Anyway.
Two more stories.
Oh, two more stories.
Two more stories.
Two more stories he's got.
Speaking of Disney,
Yes.
Disney Plus series has a new MCU show. In case you don't know what MCU is, we're talking about the Marvel movies. Is doing a new series called Secret Invasion. Apparently, they already picked a star for the show, which I'm actually really excited about because I kid you not, she is a really good actress.
Gina Carano.
No.
No, that would be too awesome for words. For Marvel to have picked up what Lucasfilm just left in the gutter. But anyway.
Emily Clark better known as the Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones. She is really, really good. She's awesome and funny. Really funny. But anyway, she needs to do more movies instead of getting stuck with really horrible movies. Because she was in Solo, Star Wars story. Yeah. And she was in one of the Terminator movies.
Besides the first and second one?
So, yeah. So, exactly. So she gets stuck with like really horrible movies. But she is actually a really good actress. And anybody who's a big fan of Game of Thrones, they know that she's just really amazing. But anyway, yeah. So,
Game of Thrones, the most overrated media property since Lord of the Rings. Oh, yes, he went there. And speaking of which, how many more millions of dollars is Amazon going to lose trying to do Middle Earth?
hey, if that makes some more millions, then let them do it. That's all I have to say.
I hope they lose their shirts on it.
They probably won't, though. Alright, my last story, and the only reason why I had to write this down is because what this guy said. Okay. Simu Liu. I know I butchered that name.
Okay.
I know I butchered that name.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Who's the new star of,
Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, buddy.
Yes.
Which is actually a film I was kind of looking forward to since they hinted at the Mandarin way back in Iron Man. The first Iron Man was how long this has been on the back burner, and that's what, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. But yes, Simu Liu, I think is the
okay.
I think is how you pronounce it, but you go ahead and tell the whole wide world, all 5 of you who haven't heard this yet, y'all gotta hear this. Because, you know what? I told the beloved what he said. She popped. She loved it. She fell in love with it. She considered that one of the best runs of the year. Anyway.
It was. Okay, so he had to delete his tweets from social media because of the whole cancel culture stuff. This was a tweet like way back or something like that.
This is like 10 years ago he made this tweet, y'all. Okay. This is how far back these losers will go trying to dig up crap to stir. Do you have the exact quote?
Yes. His quote was, "I thought I was at a Nicki Minaj concert for 20 minutes when I realized I was watching a homeless man yelling at a pigeon."
Which is an insult to both the homeless and to pigeons. To claim Nicki Minaj has that much talent. But that was... I like that. I was not going to watch this film. I honestly was not going to watch this film until I heard this tweet. And I don't want to see this film just because of the backlash he got from the social justice warriors. I got to see this guy. I got to see this guy in action. If he's mouthing off like this, it's the only reason I pay attention to Gina Carano, because she can snap like that. And it's just like, oh my goodness. And you little smart ass, you. I'm so proud of you.
When I heard about this, I was like, oh no, not this guy, because I'm a big fan of this guy. There's a show based in Canada. The second season, or the 5th season is already out. They're done with it. And I'm waiting for it to fall on Netflix. But it's, if you've never heard of Kim's Convenience, watch it. It is just a regular story about an Asian family that runs a little corner market, and it is a hilarious show. I love it. It is great. The 5th season's done, over with. I don't know when it's going to drop on Netflix, but there's already 4 seasons on there. Watch it. I love that show. But when I heard that he was going to be playing the main hero in the next Marvel movie, Shang-Chi and
the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yes. It's about time he gets, like, recognized on something. And this makes it better. So, yes.
Now you gotta understand something. Shang-Chi is as D-list as you can get. He was relevant for about 12 months back in the early 70s when Bruce Lee was really going pretty well. This was just before Disco hit and they did Dazzler. He was a... Shang-Chi started out as one of these pop culture phenomenon types. He was a fad. He was part of a fad. So he was part of the mid-70s martial arts fad, which didn't really end until Bruce Lee died. So when Shang-Chi came out, the idea was to get as close as a white guy could get to actually conveying the way martial arts worked. But he pretty much has been under the radar of the Marvel Universe until the Mandarin popped up. And since they didn't have a chance, I don't know why, they didn't have a chance to address it in Iron Man, although it would have been awesome. I'm going to give you a quick spoiler. The 10 rings, each ring symbolizes a different power. Imagine you went through this with Infinity War with the 5 reality stones. Or the 5, whatever the hell the stones were. The Infinity Gauntlet was what I was talking about. The Mandarin is a bad guy who's in the Fu Manchu mold. He has 10 rings. Each ring has a stone that has a different power. So he can throw ice, he can throw fire, he can do this, he can do that, he can do something else. 10 rings. And it was Shang-Chi's job to stop this guy because Iron Man couldn't get the job done. So, like I said, Shang-Chi is about as D-list as you can get. But then again, so was Rocket Raccoon. Rocket was nothing until they started up the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book. And actually, I don't think he was that big a deal up until that first movie got made. Because I considered Guardians of the Galaxy D-list when it came out. Or at least a C-list at best. And now Guardians of the Galaxy rocks the box office. Has made Marvel billions. Just off ancillary merchandise. So you never know where inspiration can strike. Shang-Chi is either going to do gangbuster business or it's going to collapse upon itself. I hate to say it, looking at what's coming from Marvel right now, I'm expecting Marvel to trip over their own feet several times. I don't know if Shang-Chi is going to be caught up in that. Doctor Strange 2 will probably pull it off. Black Widow might. Seems to me like there's another. Spider-Man's pretty much exempt from it, although they have to be careful what they do because they're about to go into the Spider-Verse with Tom Holland.
Shang-Chi is starting off a new phase, right?
Yeah, this is phase 4.
This is phase 4 of the Marvel films.
The fact that we know this is called phase 4 indicates there's a failure at Marvel.
And it's like, the way I see it is that one of the things that I was looking at was how are they going to do phase 4? Because you got to think, Black Widow's dead, Iron Man's dead, Captain America's dead, or he just grew old. I don't know if he actually died or not, but
Captain America's pretty much dead.
Yes.
He's like 2,000 years old now.
Yeah. So basically all the main ones are now doing their own thing. You still got Thor and you still got Hulk. But I don't know exactly what they're doing.
And Jeremy Renner.
And Jeremy, yes.
It's Hawkeye.
So, I mean, you still got those, but the whole idea is to focus on the new ones like Spider-Man, Shang-Chi. I don't know who else is going to be there, but I guess they're going to make Falcon and the Winter Soldier be part of the new Phase 4. Even though they're veterans, they're not actually newbies to the whole thing. So, But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big a success as what the last phases were, because you don't have these major Iron Man and Captain America no more. You got a new Captain America, but it's not Chris Evans. There'll probably be somebody that will put on the suit of Iron Man, maybe.
Riri.
But it's
Riri
not going to
Williams.
be Robert Downey Jr. Potts has powers now, but are they going to actually bring her back to do anything?
I don't think they can
Oh,
afford her
no.
anymore. I don't know. I'm going to say
Oh.
this. I'm going to say this about that, and that'll be that. Okay. The future of the Marvel Universe right now is in dubious hands, let's say. Right now, we're in the middle of a huge fad. Okay. This is not like. I'm not going to say this is a unique fad, but it's not one that happens very often. It's a political pop culture fad. Right now, social justice is a fad. Okay? That's the reason why you have to keep hearing people like Greta Thunderbird or whatever her name is, and Nickelodeon's mouthing off, and Joe Biden's mouthing off, and all these politicians are mouthing off on both sides, honestly. And you've got you got LeBron James telling people to kill cops, and you got sitting senators walking into potential war zones trying to light a powder keg, and all this other stuff. This is a fad. This is a fad. What Marvel's going to do, because they have poor leadership at the moment, what Marvel's going to do is they're going to do what Star Wars did. They are going to make token representations on classic characters. Thor's going to be female. Iron Man is going to become a black teenage girl. They're going to... Yes, that happened. That actually happened in the comic books. Remember I said Riri Williams? She was Ironheart. You're going to see cross-dressers. You're going to see every pervert in the rainbow. Yeah, I said pervert in the rainbow. I'm turning 50. F you. Don't be an ageist. You're going to see every little stunt and trick over the next 2 years. This fad pops in 2023. After the midterm elections, this is all going to go away. Or it's not going to matter. One or the other. Coof. I'm telling you, this fad is about to come crashing down under its own weight. This is the biggest fad since disco. Sea of History doesn't bear me out. This is the biggest fad since disco, and it's going to go down as spectacularly in flames as disco did. Disco ended the night they pretty much destroyed a baseball stadium when it was destroyed Disco Night or something. I can't remember what it was called, but they did destroy a baseball stadium. Trying to blow up all these disco records. This is going to end poorly. And anybody who is buying into it for momentary gain right now is going to pay for it down the road. Marvel is about to go down this road. Marvel thought they had it rough back in the late 90s, the early 2000s, when nobody would give them one thin dime for nothing. Okay? Remember, when they did Heroes Reborn, they were on the brink of bankruptcy back in the mid-90s. What brought them back was the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Comics is still irrelevant to this day. I called it. Nobody reads Marvel Comics. Nobody's reading DC Comics right now. X-Men, and maybe you got a few people still hanging on to Iron Man and Spider-Man. That's it.
It's kind of backwards, because it's like, if you stop and think about it, like, nobody read Marvel, but the movies were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People read DC, but the movies sucked.
Yes.
Marvel's TV shows sucked. DC's TV shows were good. So it's like, it's weird.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. But I'm telling you, guys, social justice is a fad. Woke is a fad. All this stuff is a fad. Yes, it's gone on for years, and it's been building since the early 80s, y'all. This has been going on since the late 60s. Earth Day, I think, was where, back in 1970, was where this crap started getting codified and started festering like a little cancer in the background. if you are hitching your boat to this idea that everybody needs representation, and you're not creating new characters to represent these new, in order to get these representation, people are going to smell your phony right off the bat, and they're going to drop you like a bad habit. You cannot listen to me carefully, okay? I love Sam Wilson, I love the Falcon, I love Captain America, but how close are you to putting blackface on a white guy? How close are you to being Ted Danson right now, Hollywood? Pay close attention to what you're doing, because you are right on the razor's edge. Some of you have already fallen right the hell over. There's a lot of, we started this off, boycott Space Jam 2 because LeBron's mouthing off. There are people already falling over the edge, and they're going to suffer for it. The NBA is losing money right now because of LeBron James and his mouth. I bet you don't hear too much from LeBron James here in the near future. Storytellers, studios, executives, managers, listen. This is about to come crashing down around your ears. I am begging you for your own sake, not for mine, not for his, not for the fans, not for the sake of the characters, not for integrity, but for your own livelihoods. Get off this crazy train while you can. And that's going to be my last word on it. Any final words from you, Chris? Because you said that was your last.
Yeah,
just,
I mean, totally agree. It's like, it's not that we're against all these things. It's just stop changing what's already there and make something new. You know? And don't preach as much, because that's why we watch these things, is because we want to get away from reality. You know? We see this shit on the news all the time. We know this stuff exists. We do. We know it's there. We know it's wrong. But if we want to watch something to escape from it, and all you're doing is preaching to us again about what we already know, it's like, come on.
Like I said, that's a bad habit to get into, is the preachified.
You'll lose money if you keep doing it.
And speaking of not making any money, we might as well wrap up this little this little venture, because God knows we're not making any money, and we're not going to gain any viewers doing this, especially. Anyhow, so final thoughts before we say goodnight. Good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
Adios.
Good night.
Somebody else want yet. So if that's all for y'all,
Yep.
please feel free to talk to us. Let us know what you think and stuff. There's Facebook. He's got Movie Geek, his own little group going on. I've got. Go ahead.
What?
No, I'm still trying to figure out what in the world's wrong with my WordPress site right now, because I can't get anything to show up. I can get the basic homepage, but I've already written one article, and I can't figure out how in the world to get it posted. So I must be doing something wrong. It can't be that difficult. Everybody uses WordPress, but my 49.9-year-old brain cannot figure it out.
Cool.
But I'm working on it, folks. So do keep an eye on hellohappycampers.wordpress.com, too. He's got the Movie Geek group. He's got over on Facebook. We've still got the Twitter, which I'm probably more active on than anything else right now.
I
just
got
because,
Twitter, but I don't hang out with it.
yeah, I don't either, honestly. Every once in a while I'll tweet a news story out, and that's about it. But
I'll read it and like it.
we do need to sit down and discuss social media sometime, and what I think is about to happen there.
Uh-oh.
Because we were talking about fads, but So anyway, well, if that's it for you, that's it for me, and that's it for you. So until next time, boys and girls, Spike,
Chris,
show. Hi, y'all.
Yeah.